Hello, friends, I'm back again. And I realized that I haven't been to a bazaar in the last 2 months. And bazaar is such a happening place. The Indian bazaar, the Indian market is such a happening place. You get to find everything under the sun there. And you have these traders, the peddlers, the vendors, the fruitmen, and everybody's there, and you can just go and buy things. I mean, I'm really missing it. I'm not talking about the malls and the super stores. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a real old Indian bazaar, because when you go to a bazaar, you see so many people out there. It reflects the social lifestyle out there, the traditions, the culture of the people, and many things you get to know when you enter a bazaar. And it is a throbbing place, where life comes in full swing, and there are innumerable sights, sounds, smells, and I think every city, has a particular bazaar that becomes a kind of a landmark. For example, if I am to talk about Delhi, we have the Chandni Chowk, we have Dilli Hat, we have the Kinari Bazaar in Agra, we have the Johari Bazaar and Bapu Bazaar in Jaipur, we have the Sardar Bazaar in Jodhpur, we have the Bow Bazaar in Kolkata, we have the Chor Bazaar in Mumbai, and we have the Lad Bazaar in Hyderabad. Now that brings me to my poem of the day. I am going to discuss the poem In the Bazaars of Hyderabad by Sarojini Naidu. And the bazaars have not yet lost their charm. Despite online shopping, despite malls, the bazaars are still throbbing in India. So here is the poem by Sarojini Naidu, In the Bazaars of Hyderabad. What do you sell, O ye merchants? Richly your wares are displayed. Turbans of crimson and silver, tunics of purple brocade, mirrors with panels of amber, daggers with handles of jade. What do you weigh, O ye vendor? Saffron and lentil and rice? What do you grind, O ye maidens? Sandalwood, henna and rice. What do you call, O ye peddlers? Chessmen and ivory dice? What do you make, O ye goldsmiths? Wristlet and anklet and ring, bells for the feet of blue pigeons, frail bells for the feet of the blue pigeons, frail as a dragonfly's wings, girdles of gold for dancers, scabbards of gold for the king. What do you cry, O ye fruitmen? Citron, pomegranate and plum. What do you play, O ye musician? Sitar, sarangi and drum. What do you chant, O magicians? Spells beyond to come? What do you weave, O ye flower girls, with tassels of azure and blue? Crowns for the brow of a bridegroom, chaplets to garland his bed, sheets of white blossoms, new garland, to perfume the sleep of the dead. The poem has 5 stanzas, and there's a beautiful rhyme and rhythm throughout. And let me just take you to this journey of an Indian bazaar, the Bazaar of Hyderabad. So there are merchants. Merchants are rich traders. So what are they selling? They have displayed their goods in a very elaborate manner. It's a kind of a conversation. The poet is the buyer. She moves from one vendor, one trader to another. She's eager to know what they're selling, and they are eager, very keen to share in detail about their goods. So what do you sell, O ye merchants? Richly your wares are displayed. You've exhibited your goods so well. What is he selling? Turbans of crimson and red, crimson and silver. The turbans were very common in those days. We are talking about a time which was before independence, right? And Indian men used to wear turbans, unlike today. And they are red in color. They have also silver in them. Tunics of purple brocade. Now, brocade was a very rich fabric with raised pattern with gold and silver thread. Very expensive embroidery. So there are garments with brocade work. Mirrors with panels of amber. So huge mirrors with rectangular frame, and you have amber, which is a yellow brownish substance, a kind of stone, you could say, used for decoration. And the panels were decorated with amber. Daggers with handles of jade. So daggers are knives. So the handle of the dagger was studded with jade, a green colored gem. So, you know, Sarojini Naidu is bringing us the India which was rich and prosperous. And look at the way things are described. Everything was available in that market. Then she moves on. What do you wear? O ye vendors, saffron and lentil and rice. Saffron. Saffron is kesar that we call in Hindi, and it adds color to the dish, the reddish orange color. So the vendors are selling saffron. Today, of course, it is almost, it is very expensive and not found in a local market. You will get them in supermarkets probably. So saffron and lentil and rice. What do you grind? O ye maidens. So there are girls who are crushing and grinding the sandalwood, the henna leaves, and the spice. And India was a land of spice. Okay? People came to India because of her spices. What do you call, O ye peddlers? Now, peddlers are men who would move from one place to another with their goods, and they would call out, you know, just as we have the sabzi wala today, or the kabadi wala, or the thele wala. So in those days, they had the khomcha wala, or the dabba wala, or for that matter, the ferry wala. So they would call out, whatever they were selling, they would call out. So he is selling chessmen and ivory dice. Chessmen are the pieces used in a game of chess, and the dice is made up of ivory. Okay, ivory, of course, is the cream white tusk of an elephant. We move on to the third stanza, and this entire stanza is dedicated to the use of gold and the craftsmanship of the Indian goldsmiths. So what do you make, O ye goldsmiths? Indian goldsmiths are world famous for their craftsmanship, their intricate designs. So what are they making? Wristlet and anklet and ring. Bells for the feet of blue pigeons, frail as a dragonfly's wing. Now this is a simile. The bells are so delicate, so intricate in the design that they have been compared to the wings of a dragonfly, very thin. And it's like a net, you know. Beautiful craftsmanship. Girdles of gold for dancers. Girdles are waistband, you know, kind of cord or a belt that dancers would tie around their waist. So there's a Hindi word for that, kamarband. And all in gold. So gold was available. And, you know, India was correctly known as the golden bird. Look at how rich, how prosperous our country was. So girdles of gold for dancers, scabbards of gold for the king. Scabbard is the cover of the sword. You sheath and unsheath a sword. So that cover was designed, that was made up of gold, and it was intricately designed and ornamented and probably studded with precious gems. Okay, so we move on to another segment. What do you cry? The word cry and call refers to the sounds, to the songs, to the jingles that we call today, you know, the way they would attract their customers. So what do you cry? O ye fruitmen, they are fruit sellers. Citron, they are lemons. Pomegranate and plum. So there was seasonal fruit as well as that non-seasonal fruit. The plum, of course, was an expensive fruit, a rare fruit. What do you play, oh musicians? So look at this. In one market, you would find everyone. You know, you would find a vendor, a peddler, a merchant, a fruitman, a musician. And what are they playing? They're playing the instruments such as sitar, sarangi, and drum. And you also have a magician there. Now, you must know that street magic is very common, was very common, is very common. You sometimes see a magician, or for that matter, you also see a fortune teller, sitting with a little parrot and cards, and he's going, the parrot picks up a card and then he reads out your fortune. These are very common sights in the old bazaars of India, even today. So what do you chant? What are you chanting? Like, when a magician performs a kind of a magic trick and he would say abracadabra. So what do you chant? Oh, magicians, spells for eons to come. So you are chanting magical spells for generations to come. And the last stanza, she takes us to a section in the market where young girls are sitting with heaps of flowers. The pool mandi is still popular in many, many cities. And so she says, what do you weave, O ye flower girls, with tassels of osier and red? So these girls are sitting, they've got long hair and braided with tassels, red and blue in color. And what do they say? They're saying, crowns for the brow of a bridegroom. They're making strings of flowers, which will be made into a crown, a headgear, you could say. And the bridegroom wears it on the day of his marriage, when he goes to his bride's home. And there is a Hindi word for that. We say sehra. And it covers up the face of the bridegroom. There are strings of beautiful smelling flowers like champa, chameli, bela. They're usually made up of these flowers. Chaplets to garland his bed. Now, this is again a typical Indian tradition that the bed of a newly wedded couple is decorated with flowers. So flowers have a very integral part in our culture. And a particular flower arrangement is made, and the room and the bed is absolutely sweet. It smells sweet, it's beautiful. It creates a kind of aroma, a kind of a sensuous environment, I would say. But at the same time, sheets of white blossoms new garnered to perfume the sleep of the dead. They're also making strings of flowers that will act as a sheet to cover the dead body. I guess, probably these, and they're freshly picked flowers, they will lower down the stench of a dead body, for one. And for two, it's on the last journey, let the dead be in the company of flowers, okay? To perfume the sleep of the dead. So let that last sleep be a sweet one. It's wonderfully written, and of course, the purpose of this poem was definitely to create a sense of pride in the Indians, and also to propagate Swadeshi, to use your own goods than look out for foreign goods. And it definitely makes us feel very happy as we can see what a rich land India was. And as an individual, I love going to bazaars. Believe me, I have people to help me out, but be it the vegetable market or the cloth market, I am there. And like any other individual, whenever I visit different cities, the marketplace is definitely the priority. I have to go there, see, feel, enjoy, click pictures, and come back with lots of memories. And you realize what a colorful nation we are, And you can also see that there is far more to see and hear in the bazaars of Hyderabad than just the vendors and the traders and the peddlers. Now, before I conclude today's discussion, I am again reminded of a show that Doordarshan had begun to telecast in the 1990s, and it was known as Agra Bazaar by Habib Tanveer and written by Nazir Akbarabadi. And there's one particular segment in that play which caught my attention, and it is still there. It was a marketplace, definitely, as it says, Agra Bazaar. I've spent a chunk of my life in Agra, and it's close to my heart. And there are a number of bazaars there, as I said, the Kinari Bazaar, Johari Bazaar, and you have mandis, Rui ki mandi, Hing ki mandi, Nai ki mandi, Raja ki mandi, so it was a place with bazaars. So here was this bazaar scene, and then there is this tarboos wala and laddu wala, and they're selling their wares. And this cucumber man, he's selling kakdiya and kiras. And unfortunately, nobody is buying, and he's very sad. So suddenly he goes to this poet, Nazir, and requests him to write a few lines which he would sing to attract his customers, just as we call jingles today, what we call jingles today. And of course, these were the lines, and they are etched in my mind, and I can't end my session today without reading it out to you. क्या खूब नर्मो नाजुक आगरे की ककड़ियां हैं, क्या खूब नर्मो नाजुक आगरे की ककड़ियां हैं, क्या प्यारी प्यारी मीठी और पतली पतलियां हैं, गन्ने की पोरियां हैं, रेशम की तकलियां हैं, फरहद की निगाहें, श्री की हंसलियां हैं, मजनू की सर्द आहें, लैला की उंगलियां हैं, क्या खूब नर्म नाजुक आगरे की ककड़ियां हैं. And with this, at the end of the day, he had sold out all his wares. So this is the magic of being in an Indian bazaar. Thank you so much for being with me. Have a good day. Stay safe.